Hello, everyone. This is your host, Risha Akela, and I welcome you back to another super episode of Life Musings by Dr. Padmaja Nandigama. Today, we are going to learn about a very complex topic, conflict management and resolution, which is the most challenging part of our professional and personal lives. We will learn how to understand, address, and resolve conflict constructively. Our guru, Dr. Padmaja Nandigama, is a psychology faculty, a life coach, a motivational speaker, and also an academic advisor. Nice to have you back, Dr. Padmaja Garu.
Good to be back. We're looking bright and nice.
Yes. So let's dive in right.
Mhm.
What is the main cause of a conflict to arise?
Yes, and important topic, right? We see conflicts everywhere, and the basic question is, what is a conflict and why do we have conflicts? Conflicts is earlier it used to be like, you're having a conflict, that means there's something wrong, people are not getting along, so it's not a good thing. But nowadays, if there is a conflict, that means there's some constructive thinking going on. So people have conflict sometimes in a very constructive way. It's good. The reason of conflicts could be many. One, it could be your expectations. So you come to a situation with certain expectation, but then you find something else, or you get something else. Then you don't like it. So you have a conflict there. Or your emotions. Like say, for example, you might have a conflict with a person where you are very enthusiastic about the situation. You're so excited, but the other person is, well, I don't know. I don't find it that important, or I'm not that excited. What's wrong with you? Why are you being so excited? So that kind of difference of emotional state could also lead to your conflict. And another could be your interests, needs, and desires. So if few people are in a situation or working together where their interests differ, somebody could be working there for their personal agenda, while somebody else is working for the societal needs or trying to do something for the bigger picture or helping other people, it's going to be a conflict there. So different types of expectations or different emotions. And the big thing is different personalities. Yeah, that's a big one, right? Like we all have different personalities, so we will have conflict because of that. You have to understand that when even people who are born and brought up in the same household, you will have conflicts with your own siblings. So you have to expect to have conflicts with people from all walks of life, wherever you are. So, these are the main reasons why we see conflicts in people.
So how should one approach in an argument when someone or the conversation is becoming very intimidating and intriguing?
Right. See, the reason that a conversation or a situation could become difficult because of the difficult people.
Yeah.
We see there are a lot of people of different types, different personalities, as I said. That's because we are all made differently. So a conflict could be like basic three types. One, a task-based conflict.
Okay.
If it's a task-based, meaning you and I might disagree on what the task we are doing. Okay. Personally, we are okay, but we don't agree on the task. Like say, for example, we both want to go on a vacation, or in a group, they want to plan a vacation. One might say, let's go here, or one might say, let's go there. So we don't agree on the task, like picking the task. That's a task conflict. The other one is the process conflict. So we have identified the task. We have identified that the project should be done this way, but then we don't agree on how to move on to achieve that end goal. That's a process. That's a conflict. The third type is relationship conflict. And this relationship conflict could be because of personalities, as we said. And again, the relationship conflicts could be different types again. Interpersonal between me and you. One, because I and you could be different personalities. It could be our interests could be different. Our needs could be different. Our agendas could be different. Then the other one could be intrapersonal, within ourselves. Sometimes you go through a conflict.
Yeah.
Right? Okay, you want to do this, but it's not your personality.
Yeah.
You morally, it's not right. So you don't want to do it, but then society is demanding it, or your job is demanding it, or your situation is demanding it. So that kind of conflict.
And sometimes, like, mind says one thing, heart says one thing, right?
Exactly. The cognitive dissonance.
Yes.
So that creates interpersonal conflict.
Okay.
So, and the other one is intergroup within a group, or intra-group.
Okay.
Right? Within groups, you might have conflicts, which we generally see in like religious groups. There is conflict between the two groups because of the difference in faith and their understanding or whatever. It should not be, but people get into conflicts because of that. And sometimes within a group, intra-group conflict. Here I want to bring your attention to this intra-group. Within a group, we are working together on a project. You have difficult people. There could be backstabbers. There could be bullies. There could be people who procrastinate. There could be Mr. Know-it-alls. They think they know everything. They are the bosses. So these kinds of people will create conflict. Like, say, for example, if there is a bully, how do we deal with this? They are coming. They are like putting you down. They are insulting. Then you have to resolve this conflict.
Yeah.
Because if you don't resolve, you are going to be unhappy. You don't want to probably go to work. You have this fear and apprehension. Sometimes these bullies could be your bosses.
Yeah.
So the situation is like, I don't feel like going to work because I don't want to face this bully. So you have to bring this to the notice of your peers, or bring it to the notice of your upper management. You have to resolve the conflict for the good of yourselves and for the good of the group. Maybe this supervisor is being a bully for everybody. So you have to face that and resolve that situation.
So that's in a professional environment, right? What if it's something like personal, like a friend, or let's say in students, if they have some kind of conflicts, or some kind of bullies. So how do they stand up for themselves?
Very good. Because many a times you see that, especially in schools, you see there is a lot of kids who are bullying other people. Here, you have to understand that the bully has the problem. It's not the other person. Bully is doing that because they have low self-esteem. That is another reason for conflict. These bullies have low self-esteem because they probably are deprived of happiness, or they don't feel good about themselves, either in their physical appearance, or in their capabilities, or in their achievements, or whatever it is. They feel they're low, they're not good enough. So these bullies pick up people in their environment who they want to be like. So they're jealous of this person. Okay. So being jealous makes them behave as bullies. So now they pick on this people and they try to suppress them, they try to harass them, physically threaten them, create a situation that they create mental havoc for this victim, right? So, and you see this in the society a lot, like people being jealous, people being like, backstabbing. And the irony is they think that other people are not observing it. Let me tell you something, everybody is observing everybody. Everybody is assessing everybody. Okay, they may not be big psychologists, but they can do the minimum kind of assessment. They can understand the dynamics. So you have to be very careful, or even cultivate good, positive behavior.
Right.
So to be appreciated by other people, because being jealous and being a bully will not help you sustain in the society for a long time. If you're thinking that you are going to achieve your goals by bullying other people or by backstabbing other people, no, you are not going to go in the long run. So you are going to bite the bullet if you are going to go that route. So if you want to be an achiever, you want to be a leader, you want to have positive relationships in your life, you have to get off the train of bullying other people and backstabbing other people. Yeah,
great advice.
Right.
So how do you teach your students to learn to resolve their differences with compromise and negotiation?
Here, all of us should learn to create a win-win situation in any walk of your life, be it professional, be it social, be it your personal life. Think about a win-win situation. People generally are a couple of types. One is like, I am okay, you are not okay. These people are always like, oh, why is this like this? It should have been like that. They're always trying to put you down.
Right.
And on the other hand, they will project a very positive image about themselves. I am okay, but you are not okay.
Yeah.
Okay. The other set is, you are okay, but I'm not okay. These are like, oh, you do it so well. They have everything, but they're always crying on other people. These are like, you are okay, I'm not okay. And the other set is like the third one is, you are not okay, I'm not okay. Oh, the life is so bad. I just hate. They're all negativity everywhere.
Exactly.
They will see negativity in everything. Today, the weather is like 60. They will not be happy with the 60 weather. They'll say, oh, I wish this 60 weather stays like this.
Yeah.
We wasted so much of March being in the cold. Enjoy this weather right now. So these people are like, I'm not okay, you're not okay, we'll never be okay. The situation is going to be like this, right? But what we all should be is, you're okay, I'm okay. I should be okay, you should be okay. So create an environment where it is a win-win situation for everybody. And in creating that, you have to learn some assertive negotiating skills.
Okay.
So what I teach, or what I tell youngsters or young adults or anybody for that matter, is learn to be assertive, because there are bullies around, there are going to be aggressive people around.
Exactly.
So what you need to say is, I can manage myself. Thank you for your advice. I really appreciate your, sharing the knowledge with me, or concern, but then I can manage now. So learn to be assertive. Learn to say that I can do this. I will do this.
Just politely say no.
Politely say no. Here, like, say, for example, if you're with an aggressive person, this aggressive person, when you are in a group, they will make decisions for everybody in the group. They will order for everybody. It is okay if you're ordering when you have the permission of the group, and when they want you to do it, it's okay. But certain aggressive people, like, they will take every opportunity to dominate other people, which is not good. So an assertive person in this situation will say, thank you for looking out for me, but then, you know what, I can do it by myself. So you have to be assertive in your communication skills. And conflict arises because of poor communications. So you might be thinking something, I might be thinking something, you don't put it in words, or you don't call, you assume, I assume assumptions. So what happens? And then I will be thinking, oh, Sirisha said she's going to call me. She never called me, so she doesn't like me. Right? So, we assume so many things. So this gap in communication always leads to conflicts. So you have to be clear when you try to resolve a situation, or even in your communication style, be direct.
Be very clear.
Be very clear and be approachable. Don't be uptight. Don't be like, a snob. So,
and I think with these text messages, messaging and chat messages,
social media,
hard.
right? Social media.
It's very hard what people are trying to say,
right?
Instead of calling. So.
Exactly. And also, especially if your native language is not English, we all face that, right? You want to say something, but what you type would mean something to other
comes
person.
Out in a different way.
Or with this typos, it might go as like something else. So you have to be very careful when you are communicating something on this social media. So the best option is, if you want to work a relationship, or if you want to resolve a conflict, take the phone up, take an appointment, sit with the person face to face, resolve the conflict. So, and people when they try to resolve these conflicts, you have to be assertive and you have to be cooperative. If people who are assertive and cooperative create situations which are win-win.
Okay.
So that will be like a collaborating kind of situation. Yes.
Right. That's great. So have you ever
faced
that kind of personal or professional conflicts?
Yes.
And how did you resolve it?
Yes. Obviously, I'm a human. I also have a personality, and I will be facing conflicts regularly. But also, I have to tell you that, one thing is we have to make sure that we don't dig ourselves into conflicts, make sure that, learn to identify situations which are like conflicting to your personality and your thinking. So cultivate an environment which is suitable to you, to your personality. Yes, when I was in grad school, I have to tell you this, we were all presenting in a class. This was graded presentations. Wow. So I was it was my turn. Mm-hmm. So I think I was the 5th person or the 6th person to present, and everybody had 20 minutes to present. Okay. Mm-hmm. So this was my 2nd year of grad school. Okay. So as soon as I started the presentation, I didn't even go into like first 5 lines, just mm-hmm. about like 1 or 2 lines. The professor stopped me and said, okay, move on to the next presentation. So I was flabbergasted. I was like so surprised that he cut me off so short. I didn't even start. I didn't say anything wrong. It was a well-prepared presentation because we were told to prepare. Yeah. And I felt humiliated. And at that time, my confidence level fell so low that I wanted to cry, and it was happening in front of my classmates who are all grad students. Understand that I was getting trained to do my PhD here. Wow. So yeah, at that time I couldn't do anything. But you know what? My colleagues immediately stood up for me. This happened in the United States. I have to specify that this happened in the United States. My colleagues and my classmates, we were students then, right? They immediately stood up for me and said, you can't do that to her. Why did you cut her off? Mm-hmm. So, that like gave me a confidence that I should do something about this. I should not keep quiet. So I escalated this. I complained this to the department that I was treated in a very discriminating manner. Yes, I had to call the card of discrimination because one, I was of a different color. Mm-hmm. My native language was not English. Maybe because of that, and the professor was male. It could be that he was intimidated by me, who is a female. And let me tell you, I was the only female in the class. And I was the only immigrant in the class. For that matter, I was the only immigrant in the psychology department for a long time. Oh, wow. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So it could be any of these reasons. Yeah. So if I didn't step up at that time, if this kind of harassment would have gone throughout the course, or even maybe for all my grad school, because in grad school, it's a very small committees and there will be the same professors coming and teaching you and being in the committee. Because I escalated, my advisor immediately stepped up for me and he said, this should not be done. No. So that other professor was given a notice by the department, and there was a resolution there in the sense that never again he treated me like that. It's great. Yeah. It was the right thing to do. It was the right thing because if I didn't do at that time, being in grad school, doing a PhD, it's itself a struggle. Yeah. You're fighting so many odds. Yeah. And if I didn't do at that time, I would have been shattered. My self-doubting, my self-esteem, my confidence would have been the low and lowest. Yeah. Yes. Mm-hmm. So doing that told me something, that I have to stand for myself, and I have to resolve a conflict to have a peace of mind to move further. Yeah. And in personal life, yes, you will have conflicts, as I said, but then again, depending upon the situation, you always have to work win-win-win. Understand that we all come with different backgrounds, different expectations, different personalities. So yeah. And it is inevitable. It is inevitable. Everyone has to face this at some point in their life, right? Right. And also when we face a conflict, we have to understand that if it is a relationship conflict, how much of value do you place on this relationship? Mm-hmm. If this relationship matters to you a lot, then obviously you have to resolve the conflict. Right? And you will do that for sure, right? Yes, exactly. You will do that. You have to resolve the conflict with your spouse or with your parents or with your children, with your siblings or with your close friends. Yeah. Understand that nobody is perfect. You will not have a perfect lock and key type of personality. Correct. It's a compromise. It's a collaboration. So you have to work it together to make it win-win. Wow. Look it from both angles, from both sides. So have that open mind and inclusiveness. Right. So definitely, if you keep that in mind, I think we can work with anybody. We can work in any situation and make it a win-win for everybody.
Great.
Yeah. Mhm.
Beautifully explained with different types of conflicts
Mhm.
and way to tackle them.
Mhm.
And they are everywhere. It just depends on you how you choose to handle them. So hope these points help you decide the way with those, how you deal with those conflicts. Thank you so much, Padmaja Garu.
Yeah, I really enjoyed talking about this. So hopefully it is going to be useful for our audience who are watching this great show.
Awesome. So we will meet again with another great topic like this in our next episode. Please watch us live on YUPP Network and watch the repeat telecast on Mana TV YouTube and also like our Facebook page. Thank you all for joining us. Stay healthy, stay happy, stay smiling. Goodbye.